She grew up in Atikokan. She went to university at Lakehead. Her father now lives just outside of Deer Falls and runs a tourist camp there. And that's sort of how I bumped into Sarah. 2 elections ago in 2003, we were in the middle of the election, and we didn't really have anybody to campaign in Deer Falls. We would, a couple people would run up from Dryden and do some canvassing, and maybe put up a couple signs. And we got a phone call from this young woman who said, well, who's running the campaign in Deer Falls? And we said, well, we don't really have a campaign. She said, well, I'll run the campaign. And that's what she did. She was working at the sawmill when she was going to university. She was working at the sawmill in the summer. She canvassed the whole sawmill, then canvassed the town, put up signs. And here's the irony of it. The Liberal candidate of the day was the mayor of Deer Falls. And we won Deer Falls. And that was all Sarah's work. And we were so impressed that we got together and we decided that we should offer her a job to work in the Dryden constituency office. I can tell you since then she's been a sponge. She just keeps on learning and learning and learning and getting more knowledgeable. A couple of years ago I said to her, I said, look, I'm not going to do this job forever, and you should maybe think about running one day. And then a year ago I said to her, you know, I might run in the next election, but that'll be the last one if I do. And I said, you need to think seriously about it. And you can obviously see she's been thinking seriously about it. I'm really glad she won the nomination. I will tell you this, I have never met anybody who works harder and who has more energy than she does. And I mean that. This is a huge riding. It goes from the Minnesota border up to Hudson Bay, from the Manitoba border almost over to James Bay, and then a line that just comes down and misses the Thunder Bay, misses the city of Thunder Bay. It's a huge ride. But I can tell you, Sarah's got the energy and the drive and the desire and the commitment to get to every door in the riding. So I'm really pleased she won the nomination, and she's going to be one excellent MPP for Kenora-Rainy River. Sarah Campbell.
First of all, I want to thank everyone for taking time out of their busy lives to come to this dinner. It's very nice to see you all out here. We always have a good showing here in Fort Frances, and I really appreciate that. Looking around the room, I recognize a lot of faces from the nomination meeting that we had a week and a half ago here in Fort Frances, and I want to thank you for showing up to that as well. I also recognize some faces from knocking on your door. That's one of the things that Howard has instilled in me, that no person can be left unbothered by the NDP. So today, Howard and I got back from a 5-day trip up north where we visited 14 communities. And the reason why I mention this is because we kept hearing the same message over and over again in all those communities. It's the same message that I heard last weekend at the Emo Fair. It's that same message that I heard in Fort Frances knocking on doors, Kenora, Dryden, Red Lake, Sioux Lookout, and everywhere in between. And that's an issue of affordability. People are finding it more and more difficult to just keep afloat, to pay their bills, to have some money left over to put food on the table. And this is because we have had 2 really bad successive governments. We have had, first of all, the Conservatives and then the Liberals. And it's clear that they prioritize giving tax breaks and financial incentives to banks and insurance companies that don't need those. And it's on the backs of us hardworking, everyday people. So that message was received loud and clear. And the good news is we're getting a lot of support. There are a lot of people who are in this position, and there are a lot of people who are fed up and they're pushing back. And so I think that we're going to be very successful in this campaign. And I wanted to thank everyone for their support and for coming out again. It really means a lot to me. And I have no doubt that we can do this and we're going to make a difference and that we can have better lives. Thank you.